Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of The Sacred Womb Wisdom. I'm joined by the lovely Nick Pepe here. He is a experienced crystal healer, energy healer, NLP coach, and he specialises in working with women. I met Nick in Chiang Mai in Thailand. He's a really good friend, and I just wanted to kind of clear something up really, that why would I be talking to a guy about periods and wombs? And there's a really simple answer to that. Nick is a fantastic human being, and he has lots of experience working with women, and is also very sensitive to the feminine aspect of ourselves. So he's very, very respectful, and I've learned a lot from him. We learn a lot from each other, I think. Nick, hello. Yes. Nick. I'll give you a chance to say hello.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for having me, Melanie. You know, it's always a pleasure to be here, and I always look forward to it. I think this is my third time working with you on the podcast, or being, interviewed, and it's just so awesome all the time, and I love it. So thank you for having me here. And a big hello to everybody out there.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Nick. And Nick is a good friend, so we spend about 20 minutes warming up before we actually get to record the call, and we have to kind of stop ourselves kind of giggling and laughing and chatting, think, oh, okay, we got to record now. But so basically this is a nice relaxed conversation between Nick and myself about how you can use crystals to support you to connect with your menstrual cycle and sacred womb center more deeply. So Nick's going to cover the basics for about 20 minutes of why you would use a crystal, what sort of things, how they can help you. Nick's going to explain this more fully.
Yes.
And then we're going to go, so if you've not really used a crystal before, you've got one, but it's kind of gathering dust, that will be good for you. And then if you've already worked with crystals, we're going to go deeper in the second half of the session, so that you can take something away from it, and then we'll end up with Nick's top tip and something that you can do, an exercise that you can do right after you've watched this with your crystal. I think, is that a good description, Nick? Yeah.
Yes, it's wonderful. And I have a lot to say, trust me, and a couple little things I have to debunk.
Okay, I like debunking.
Yes, there's one in particular thing that I have to debunk for everybody out there.
Okay, so do you want to start with that? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I will start with that. There's a really interesting thing with crystals. I think that a lot of times people confuse crystals with a magic pill or some type of something that's going to do it right away. It's going to take care of it for you. Crystals do not work like that. They are your best friends. They are your teachers. They are reminders. They are a book that you can read. They're very ancient. They are not here to do the work for you. If you have let's say a broken heart, and you've just broken up with your partner, or something like that, and you're struggling, you don't just pop in a rose quartz and be like, okay, take care of me. It doesn't work like that. You have to do the work. They will put you in a space in which you can vibrationally align with your healing process.
Okay.
So let's say that, for example, we'll use the broken heart thing. You've just broken up with your partner. You need a little soothing. The rose quartz is going to offer you soothing so that you can get to a place where you feel stronger. You feel emotionally more healed and more well. It's not going to all of a sudden, bing, bang, boom, take away your pain. You still have to go through the pain. We are human beings. Unresolved pain stays within us. We must resolve it. They will assist you in resolving your pain, but you have to go through it. You have to hold up your end of the bargain. Okay. It's the same thing as you cutting yourself and telling your friend, hey, come over here and heal me really fast. Heal my hand. It's cut. No, you are the healer. So look at crystals like that. They're supporting you. They're not there to do the job for you. You are still responsible for you in the end.
Great.
That is like my one big crystal debunk craziness that It always gets me.
That's great. I think that's really important to clear up. So what I'm getting from that is we do our work and we can use crystals, different crystals offer different vibrational frequencies to support us, to help us process and get in a tune to ourselves in a deeper way. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. You do get to know yourself working with crystals. Okay. You get to know the parts of yourself that are beautiful, the parts of yourself that are very intuitive, but they also show you the parts of you that are hurt, in pain, need love. And when those come up, you have to go there. Yeah. You don't just say, a little, I'm a little insecurities coming up. Oh, no, I don't want anything to do with that.
I'll just use my black onyx or something.
Yeah, and it's going to take it away.
Yeah.
It'll support you in that, but you still have to do the work always.
Okay, so thank you for clearing that up. Very, very important. You've obviously been through that a number of times. So for those who are watching who've maybe got a few crystals or one or whatever, and it's kind of gathering dust and they're not sure what to do with it, but they bought it because they liked it and felt something, where would you start off with that in terms of helping someone connect with their body, with their cycle, with their sacred womb?
Interesting. First, I just want to touch on something really fast, just a little tidbit on how crystals work really fast.
Okay, that'd be great, yeah.
Yeah, just to give everyone a little foundation. Crystals are very interesting because they work with the electromagnetic frequency in our body. They are there to shift things, remove blockages. Sometimes things will come up, emotions, stuff like that are trapped, but they almost resonate with our body. They resonate with the fatty tissues, with the salt in our body, the crystalline. It's almost said that our body is almost like a liquid crystal in a sense, and that's why they respond with their body. There's even some knowledge out there where people say that, which I think is very very smart in the way they do this, because they brought it back to a very scientific perspective, is that a lot of the minerals are already in us. So for example, calcite, there's calcium in our bones and our teeth. There's magnesium, there's iron in our blood. There's even, there's even the hemoglobin in our blood has almost a crystalline structure as well. Oh. So a lot of these minerals are already in our bodies. Yeah. And we already do have crystalline structures like the pineal gland.
Oh, okay. So carry on.
So we already have these components in us already. In Chinese medicine, it's very interesting. I actually just did a training recently on this and how crystals work. And they believe that from the minerals in the earth, so we can say crystals and, the soil, we can call it. From the soil, it goes to the plants. From the plants, it goes to the animals. And from the animals, it goes into us. So we are all connected in that line from the earth to us. So we essentially are the earth and an extension of the earth. Yeah. Beautiful. So we already have all of these components in us already. So crystals naturally work with us.
And when we work with a particular crystal that's got is calcite or got more of this or something in this, does that amplify what's in our body then? Or
it resonates it resonates with it. It's almost like when you meet someone, you're like, God, I really like them. Yeah. You found like a way to connect. It's like, oh.
Yeah. You kind of feel something. Oh, yeah, that feels. There's a resonance. Yeah, there's some sort of resonance there. Yeah.
Something strikes a chord. Yeah. Something strikes a chord in you. So you already have these components in you on some level. Okay. And so it goes pretty deep, but this is the simplest way that you can do it. We already have these in us. We come from the earth. We are the earth. So why wouldn't the crystals work with us?
Fantastic. I've really genuinely just learned something, because I'm like, okay, I see it, I feel it what you're saying. So very, very useful to point out. Thanks, Nick. I've not heard that before about crystals.
And And the things with crystals, we're using them they're used constantly in our cell phones, our computers, solar panels. Silicon dioxide crystals are essentially quartz crystals. They're used in almost everything and almost every electronic we have. So to say that they do not work is crazy to me because we're using them.
Okay. Yeah.
This computer that we're talking would not work. My iPhone wouldn't work if I did not have those silicon dioxide crystals in there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I believe even the first laser had a ruby component to it, I believe.
Yeah.
And can I put a book out there for everybody?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
One of my favorite books, if you guys want to really, ladies, and if there's any gentlemen out there,
any gentleman there?
If there's any gentlemen, I mean, I work with a lot of women, so sometimes there's sometimes a guy in a group or something, I just never know.
Just on the fringe.
I'm in a couple groups and I always end up being like one of the only guys, so I'm always like, if there's any gentlemen too. I like to represent everyone. But one of my favorite books is Vibrational Medicine by, I believe his name is Richard Gerber, I believe.
Ooh, I've heard of that one.
Really good book. He breaks it all down, and there's a lot of information in there that's that you can digest, and it's easily understandable. It's not, totally. It's just broken down in a nice way where everyone can understand.
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks, Nick. I'll put that link under the video as well for those people watching. Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of a general overview of how crystals work.
Yes.
So could we take it a step further now in how would that be relevant to somebody who has this kind of crystal on the sideboard gathering a bit of dust, and how would you kind of start off with it?
Well, there's a reason why you bought the crystal. I'll start off with that. I've had crystals. I mean, I've had some crystals I bought, 8 months before and didn't use them. But all of a sudden, 8 months down the line, I look at that crystal and I'm like, whoa, I need this crystal now. I don't know I haven't worked with it yet, so I don't know exactly what it does, but I know that I need to work with it.
Okay.
If you have any crystals at home, I suggest that you start by cleansing them and charging them. What do I mean by that? So for example, let's say that you have a crystal and it's been sitting there for 8 months, or let's say you bought it from the store and everybody's touched it. It's been in transit. People have touched it. It's been in different environments. It's picking up schmutz, as I like to call it.
I love that word. Schmutz.
Schmutz, yes.
Goo.
Goo, schmutz, you could, what else? Disharmonious energy.
I think we get the picture.
Yeah. So I don't want you to necessarily up and pick it up right there.
Okay.
And start using it. I would love you to in some way cleanse it via the moon. Full moon will clear and charge. And I mean, put that in the full moon. It doesn't mean that it's indoors. It needs to actually be in the full moonlight.
Okay.
You can do brown rice for a couple of hours. Sage. There are plenty of ways that you can do it. For those of you out there who do energy work or Reiki practitioners, you can put your Reiki symbols into it to help charge it. So there's a variety of ways that you could do that. But first, I would cleanse it and charge it.
Yeah.
Then you're ready to work with it. Now you're ready to work with it. Once you work with it, and I think at the end I'm going to do a quick little thing on how everyone can start to work with them.
Okay, that would be great.
And how you can actually get started right now, like right after you see this video of us.
Yeah.
But you start to really, when you start to work with it, it's almost like you attune to it. It's really like you attune to the crystal. You start to feel things. You may pick up a buzzing, or you may get visions or emotional shifts. So always make sure that when you work with the crystal, cleanse it first, then you can work with it. you can start working with it right away. There's no special ritual that you need to go through. It's the same thing as picking up your phone and calling a friend.
Okay.
You're not sitting there like, okay, I have to do this, I have to get this ready. No. Talk to it. That's all you've got to do.
Okay. So, I mean, just for example, I've got a crystal. I'm pointing over there. It's over there. It's on my sideboard gathering dust.
Yeah.
I clean it every couple of months, but so I could, to start working with it again, I'd maybe put it in brown rice for a couple of days and to absorb any schmutz.
Yeah, I would do brown rice for about overnight or at least 4 hours.
Okay, so I can do it over. I'll put it in brown rice overnight, and then I would wash it with some natural soap, and I like to soak mine in tea tree oil, just a few drops of tea tree oil and warm water just to clean it. I usually do that with my yoni eggs, but that's for another video because they're going inside me. And then I could put it out in the full moonlight, and then I'm sort of ready to work with it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I would, for full moonlight, you want at least 2 hours, but the moonlight, I will say this, will cleanse and charge them.
Oh, okay.
So if you're just like, you know what, I'm not in the mood,
Yeah.
I will, I just want to put it in the moonlight.
I get
I don't want to go through the whole thing.
Yeah.
I know for yoni eggs, there has to be a sanitation. You have to make sure it's very clean. But with this, we're just putting them in our hand.
Yeah.
We're just going to be holding them, or maybe sleeping with them.
Yeah.
Putting them in our pocket. I have a thing. Everybody says, I'm going to put the crystal in my purse.
Oh, in your purse?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you can carry the crystals, you can carry them with you. It's not always, you don't always have to meditate with them. You can carry them with you. Let's say if you're going to the mall or you're going to a party or something, you can carry them with you as a way to protect you, as a way to make you feel relaxed or whatever. There's so many different reasons you can use crystals, but people put them in their purse. Here's the big issue. If your purse is 10 feet across the room,
I get it.
the only thing that's benefiting
It's the purse.
is your purse. You're not getting any benefit.
Okay. I'm hearing you. Okay.
Yes.
So once I've dusted off my crystal from the sideboard and cleared it and put it in the moonlight, then what? Then what would I do?
So now you'd be ready to work with it.
Okay.
So there's many ways to work with it. You can meditate. That is my absolute favorite way to getting to know myself / the crystal. I always tell people this. It will show you your beauty, but it will also show you the dark spaces in yourself.
Okay.
So depending on what crystal you use, some have a tendency to bring up old emotions.
Yeah.
Some that you would think, oh, this is a beautiful crystal. It's going to be soft and gentle. It may not feel so soft and gentle to you. The crystal has nothing against you. They're completely neutral.
Okay.
So they will just show you where you have imbalances. So that's the benefit of using them in meditation. You get not only will your intuition be boosted, but you'll get in tune with the subtle realms of the crystal or the subtle energies of them.
Okay. And from what you've said, would that mean what the crystal is doing is, as I'm sitting there meditating, I'm holding my crystal, it's the resonance between the crystal and I, it's amplifying something within me to help.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like I said, it could bring up good stuff, which usually does, and it could bring up some stuff you're like, oh, you know what? I didn't work on that. Which is not so fun part. But if you really, really, really want freedom in your life, we have to go there.
Yeah.
You have to go there. So meditation is one way. Another way you can work with crystals is putting them in your space.
Okay.
So you could, let's say that you have trouble sleeping at night. You may want to put a piece of amethyst under your pillow, Or you could put it next to your nightstand. Or you can place your amethyst in your, you could place a black tourmaline at your front door to block any negative energy that wants to come through the front door.
Okay.
So you could also put them in their space. And the other way you can work with them is also is in what's it called? Carrying them on you. So when you go to work, to the mall, anywhere you go, you can carry them with you.
Okay.
But just know that it's gonna. I would suggest using maybe a tumbled stone in that case, just because the rough pieces. I'm famous for putting them in my socks.
I know.
And yes,
I've
cut myself many times.
I've met you and been like, Nick, have you got really swollen ankles or something? You want to see a doctor about that really quickly.
Yeah. And I have been cut many times and bruised because people have bumped my ankle on something, or somebody's, bumped me in some way. And
Okay.
but yes, one more thing: the closer they are to your body, the better.
Oh, the
crystal.
The more they amplify.
Yeah, the closer they are. So if they're touching your skin, great.
Okay.
If they're, on a chain, great, it's over your heart. But as long as it's in your auric field, it's going to have some effect on you.
Yeah. Okay, great. So if we can get to more specifics now of, say, one of the questions I get asked a lot is, the first one would be, how can I connect to my womb more? So is there a crystal that could help with that?
Yes. And let me just say this. I'm coming from a perspective that we all need to be connected to our bodies. I find so often working with people, for years I've been doing this, and I find that people are not connecting to their bodies.
Okay.
I tell someone, go to their heart and they're in their head. Sink into the womb and they're at the bottom of their foot or they're way up here somewhere. Yeah. So for connecting to the womb, and these are ones that I found in my experience working with clients. Yeah. And this goes for women as well as men, because the womb is a creative center. How am I putting things out in the world? How am I birthing things into the world? My ideas and my creations and stuff like that, if I'm not connecting to that center as well. So this is for everyone out there. One of my favorites is carnelian.
Ooh.
Let's see if I could put,
Yeah, if you could put it close to the camera so we could have a look.
This is a rough carnelian. This one gets you connected to your sexiness. This dips right into that area. A lot of times people say, well, this is it. Essentially, when it's tumbled, it's usually orange. People say, oh, it's sacral. But I find that this one just really connects you to that whole area. It doesn't, it's not a psychic stone. It's a stone of the body.
Okay.
It's a stone that really gets you into that womb center, gets you in there, gets you connected to your mojo, that sexiness that's in you.
Yeah, my vibe.
They're like, yeah.
I like that one. Would I meditate or lie down with it and put it on a specific place? Or?
Yeah, you absolutely can put it on the womb center, on the sacral chakra.
Okay.
It'll get you reconnected to that place. I see a lot of times people avoid that area, the womb area, whether it's through society or what people tell what's going on with the menstrual cycle, stuff like that. Yeah. People are too embarrassed to talk about it, or it's not looked at as a good thing.
Yeah.
And I think on some level, unconsciously, people have, or women have blocked that area off in some way.
Oh, of course.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful space of creation. Use the carnelian, place it there, put it on the sacral, and reconnect. Or you can put it in your non-dominant hand and connect with it that way.
Just to check, non-dominant hand, so I'm left-handed, so I'd put it in my right hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you're ambidextrous, pick one. People ask you that.
Flip a coin. So I'm just trying to picture myself. So I get a carnelian or carnelian?
Yeah, carnelian.
And at the end. Yeah. So I'd lie down I'd put the stone on my womb center, and the way I'm thinking I would do it is to just breathe and feel and see what happened.
Yes, breathe, feel, and also what you can do is bring your attention to that area if you'd like.
Sure.
It may not be so easy at first, depending on the person.
Yeah.
But it'll get easier and easier the more you can focus your energy there.
Yeah, yeah.
But also pay attention to any shifts. It may not always be a vibe. You may not always feel it physically. You may feel an emotional shift. You may all of a sudden start laughing, or you may get an image in your head or a knowing of something.
Yeah.
So I had one of my old roommates when I was living in New York. She could smell the energy of crystals.
Ooh.
So that's how they communicated with her, was she would smell them, and then she would get the messages that way.
Yeah, yeah.
So don't worry there's no right way.
Yeah, yeah.
There's your way.
Okay, so as well, what I've kind of touched on working with crystals is setting my intention with them, or sitting and relaxing first and kind of going, okay, could you help me with this? And could you just explain a little bit more about kind of setting your intention with a crystal?
So for example, the crystals already have their own, I guess, personalities or their own way of working. Yeah. So you can set your intention with a carnelian, please connect me to my womb center. Please connect me further with my body. You can do that, but they already do have their own personality to them.
Yeah.
They're very wise. Think about it. These are thousands of years older than we are. I mean, these are ancient. These have been used with shamans, medicine men and women, druids. These are very, very ancient. You can, I hate that word program. A lot of people use that. It drives me crazy because they're so ancient. Like, who am I to tell this ancient being, this consciousness, that this is what I need you to do for me?
I get it.
So you can ask them to maybe carry an intention, or to, this is what I want to work on. Can you help me? And working with it like that, instead of saying, you know what? I know you're thousands and thousands of years older than me. Can you please? I'm going to program you.
Yeah.
It's like someone grabbing me and saying, you know what? This is how you're going to be.
Yeah.
This is how I want you to express yourself in the world.
Yeah.
So the one exception that I will say is clear quartz, though. Clear quartz has almost no, I guess the best word would be maybe a personality or imprint. It's very neutral. They call it a master healer. Yeah. So those you can ask it to carry your intention, ask you to help, or ask it to help you.
Okay. Well,
but
that's
all the other crystals.
That's the one I've got gathering dust, actually. So
well, it's time to work with it.
It's time. I can feel it as we're talking, and I'm kind of going.
And any of you listening right now, if there's any crystals out there that you have, and you're like, I wonder about that crystal. There's a reason for this. There's a reason why you're listening right now. So pay attention to those subtleties.
Okay, I think I'm gonna, from what you've said so far, what I'm gonna do with that crystal is cleanse, clear it, charge it in the full moon, and then I'm just gonna, I just sit with it and ask it what it's got to say to me. I think that feels really.
Yeah, it's a conversation.
Yeah.
It's not I've seen people squeeze them. I'm like, what are you squeezing the knowledge out? This is an interrogation. Just connect. Just talk. Like, what do you have to tell me?
Great. Okay. So I know you've got a few other.
I do have
I'm
a
trying to look
others.
over the Skype, but I can't see.
I know, but they're hiding.
I know you've got a few other gems there. Yeah. What else have you got there that could help those people watching?
Oh, next is fire calcite. It's bloody. It's like they call it fire calcite or blood calcite.
Oh, that looks like sparkly blood. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very deep, very rich. Great for even the root area if you'd like as well, but great for the sacral as well. But it's really roots you in the body. This is calcite. Remember I mentioned earlier calcite, calcium?
Yes.
These vibrate on the physical level. These are very physically driven crystals. Their vibration works on that space.
Okay.
So if you want to get in your body, you want to do some deeper healing in that area, I suggest fire calcite.
Yeah, actually, Nick, I can feel that one as you're holding it up. My yoni's starting to kind of go. I can feel my cervix. Yeah.
And by the way, these are all cleanse and charge just for this. So and I make it a habit to have all my crystals cleansed and charged. But today they've been charged with sunlight, full moon. You know.
Oh, I knew you'd do that. That's why I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Because you're so cool like that. I mean, I really like that one. I mean,
yeah, the fire calcite's awesome. It'll also be called red calcite. So if you can't find the blood or the fire, it's red calcite as well.
Yeah. I can, just looking at that crystal, I can feel my cervix and the walls of my yoni kind of relaxing and warming up a bit. I really like that one.
Yeah, beautiful stone. Another benefit of it is that it does open the crown a bit.
Okay.
So the crown, for those of you out there who don't know what the crown is the very top of our head. This is our connection to Source, the Creator, to the universe. So this does have a little bit of opening on the crown, which is nice.
Okay.
So it sinks you into your body, gets you in there, but it also connects you.
Yeah. Nice. It's a very I like that. It feels quite silky and warm and flowy.
Yeah.
Woo.
I will say though, it because of that richness and that it does go deep.
Yeah.
It does go deep.
I feel that. I'm gonna have to buy one of them, I think. I'll have a go with one of them. What else you got there, Nick?
I've got another one here. I wanted to bring one up that really connected us to the cycles in our life.
Oh, okay.
Our intuition, our monthly cycles for the women out there.
What's that?
This is actually Moonstone.
Oh, I love that.
This is a good blend of our intuition, which is third eye, but also knowing what our cycles are. Everything in life is a cycle. If you think about it, the seasons are life cycles from birth to death, from day to night. Everything is a cycle. These will get us more attuned with them. This goes for everyone.
Okay.
It'll kind of put them more in perspective as opposed to kind of just, we have a tendency to not really connect to our cycles. We don't know when it's time to act. We don't know when it's time to quote unquote hibernate. We don't know when it's time to go out there and get things done.
Okay.
This will connect you to all of those cycles.
Oh, Nick, you talk about this so beautifully. I'm like, oh.
Moonstone.
I just want to give that Moonstone a big hug. I want it around my neck. I feel like I want it around my neck, and I want to. I feel the element of water when I see that, and it's so cool, isn't it? Because it kind of starts to give images already as
Exactly. Yeah. And some of you out there will have a different experience. You may get a feeling in the body. You may all of a sudden feel a sense of joy or connecting to your intuition. So just be mindful that whatever images, whatever conversation you're having with your crystals, know that it's a conversation that is unique to you.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, Nick.
So and know the more you work with them, your relationship will grow. The same way that your relationship grows with your partner, with your family, with work, all of that.
Okay.
Your relationship will deepen and deepen. It'll shift and it'll change.
Okay.
But you've got to do the work. You've got to do the work. I promise you.
Yeah. Okay. One more, is there?
I've got one more little ditty over here.
I thought there was one more. I don't know.
This is orange calcite. Orange calcite is joy.
Ooh.
It's warmth. It's really connecting to that sacral center, the womb center.
Right.
It brings warmth in days where you feel like it's dark outside, where the sun isn't shining. It brings light to sadness and joy to despair. So it's really, really a beautiful stone. But again, it's calcite, calcium.
Okay, so it's very
body.
Resonant with the body, with the physical body.
Resonant with the body, physical. Okay. It's very, very connected to that. I purposely picked those stones because I can't connect to my womb center or to my body outside of me. The body's right here. It's right here. I'm touching my body. I purposely picked crystals that would give us a connection to our bodies.
Okay.
A deep connection. Orange calcite is one of those stones that will help with that.
Okay. So we've got, what was the first one?
Carnelian.
Carnelian. And
Yes.
I'll list all these
Fire calcite.
out under the video as well.
Yes.
So they're carnelian, fire calcite,
Yes.
moonstone,
Moonstone and orange calcite.
and orange calcite as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so cleanse, clear and charge them, work with them, see what they've got to say to you,
Yeah.
meditate with them, get to know them, build the relationship and see what happens basically.
Exactly. Yeah. It will change over time. It will change over time with anything.
Yeah.
It will get deeper and deeper, and in the process you'll find more out about yourself than you could have ever imagined. It's really such a beautiful process.
Yeah. Oh,
But like I said a million times, you've got to do the work.
you gotta put it in. You gotta do the work.
Yeah.
Could you
Yeah.
could you give us one of your top tips and then give us something to do today, like an action to take with the crystal that we've got after this video?
A top tip? Gosh, there's quite a few tips. Oh. Here's a tip, and a lot of people do this. Putting your crystals in salt water. It's across the board. I hear it all the time. Oh, I just put my crystals in salt water. There's an issue with that. What happens when you put your feet in, if we put our feet in salt water for a couple of days, it starts to eat away at your actual skin.
Yeah, that would not be
That's what happens to a lot of the crystals. They actually can become damaged.
Oh, because the salt starts to break it down.
I don't know if it's erosive, I believe, or corrosive. One of those.
Yeah, it's erosive,
It erodes
I
away.
think, yeah.
Corrosive, yeah. So it can actually eat away at your crystals, and some are actually sensitive to water. So, for example, selenite, it will actually dissolve in water or become damaged. Malachite, which is another stone that can actually dissolve in water.
Right.
So a lot of these will actually get damaged in water itself. But when you add salt to the mix, all of a sudden you've added a whole other corrosive nature to it.
Okay. So salt water, not so good for cleansing, but stuff like maybe warm water and tea tree oil, or
you could do something like that. Especially for the yoni area. And I know that Lisa, is going to be on next week, I believe, talking about yoni eggs.
Yes.
So I'm sure she's going to go deeper into that.
I think she uses pink Himalaya salt and warm water she puts them in it for about an hour.
Yeah, so even there she's being careful.
Yeah.
Some people will soak them or they'll bury them in salt for 3 or 4 days or even 24 hours. And I just find that the poor little crystals get so depleted.
Oh, what do you put yours in? How do you cleanse yours?
I put mine actually in, and I have to edit something, organic brown rice. I kept saying brown rice, but it's actually organic brown rice.
Organic
Yes.
brown rice. So you put yours in organic brown rice overnight?
Yeah, I put them overnight or for a couple of hours.
Okay.
And then they're good to go, but you also may want to charge them as well. Maybe put them in the moonlight, or you can put them with potted plants. There's so many different ways.
Yeah, but I'm really intrigued. So you use brown rice, organic brown rice, yeah? Organic
brown rice, yes. But I like the brown rice because, think about it, when your cell phone gets wet?
Yeah, it pulls the moisture out, right?
It pulls the moisture out, but this pulls the negativity out of your crystals. And I have to say this, do not eat the brown rice afterwards. Don't. Please. Huge disclaimer. like, if you're taking notes right now, asterisks, stars, everything, highlight it.
Yeah. My partner got his iPhone wet, and we got some jasmine rice, and he dried the phone out, and it was very, very lovingly dried out. It was an iPhone.
Yeah.
And anyway, he cooked some rice a couple of days later, and I looked at the rice and I said, something didn't feel right. And I said, that's not the rice you soaked your phone in, is it? And he went, yeah, we haven't got any other rice. So I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
I didn't know, but I could. There's something up with that rice.
Something was, and you'll know the same thing too, because you don't want to keep that rice for like 6 months.
Yeah, you throw it away, do you?
Yeah, you throw it. Yeah, you throw it away. There's gonna come to a point where you're gonna get a feeling like, yeah, I think it's time.
Yeah. Okay, so you can maybe use it a couple of times and.
Yeah, I would. Depending if you have depending how big would everyone like to see my container?
Yeah,
I can show it.
Yeah, let's have a look.
It's right here. Give me 1 second. Okay. It's actually.
I really like to give people like very practical tips so that you can take it and then tweak it to what you want. Okay, great. It's just a sandwich box full of brown rice.
With brown rice, yeah. And then I make sure they're submerged. Do I have any? I have none in here right now, but yes. But yeah, very practical, and you want to make sure they're actually submerged.
Okay.
You don't just like lay them on a bed of rice.
Yeah, you put them in there.
You put them in there and at least 4 hours, and then to overnight, and then take them out in the morning. Okay.
So thanks for that, Nick. What's your kind of little practice? Because I know you said you were going to give people a little thing to do once they'd
Yes, I want all of you to be able to connect to the crystals now and not wait and put it off, because I think that once you start working with crystals, things start to change in a great way, in a really, really great way. But I really want everyone to start working with the crystals now. So here's my little thing. I just did a training a little while ago about this, and just take 3 minutes, of course, after you cleanse and charge and do all that. Your crystal, and I want you to meditate with it for 3 minutes in your non-dominant hand.
Okay.
And I want you to focus on any vibrations. You may get a buzzing. You may get an emotional shift. You may get feelings. You may get images, or even a knowing, or a sense of smell, or a taste even.
Okay.
I know it sounds out there, but everybody works with them differently.
Okay.
And work with them for 3 minutes and be completely neutral. Don't think you're going crazy.
Yeah.
Don't think you're making things up. Keep a little crystal journal and write down what information was relayed to you.
Okay. So I have an idea, Nick, actually.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to see if I can get... what was that second one that you held up that I was kind of going, oh, that's lovely?
The fire calcite.
Oh, don't hold it up.
It's very powerful.
Yeah, get that on purpose. So I'm going to get hold of one of them, and I'd love to, so I'm going to cleanse, charge and clear it, and then I'm going to do what you said, and I'd love to do another video with you as to the next stage to give you feedback as to what happened, and then we can maybe talk about that and see how we can take that deeper. So I think that would be a cool little thing to do, actually.
And also, I don't know if you're okay with this, but maybe if somebody could if somebody wanted to share some of their experiences.
That would be awesome. So if anybody's watching and they want to start working with their crystal now, and you can either do a vlog about it or write a post, or record an audio, and we can put it in the womb diaries, and then when me and Nick meet maybe in a couple of weeks next time, we can have a look at those and give you some feedback.
Exactly.
Or actually, Nick, do you want to do a webinar?
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Do you fancy doing a webinar on
we absolutely
crystals to help you connect with the womb centre?
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Okay, well there you go, folks. There's going to be a webinar coming up, so we do it in about a month, I think, when I can schedule it in. That would be pretty cool, and then we can interact with people, and by that time I will have started work with mine and given it some focus too.
Because I know everybody has questions. I know that I mean, I've taught so many classes, and without fail, there's tons of questions.
Yeah.
Tons of, especially when we start working with the crystals, we start meditating with them, what does this mean? What's going on with my energy? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, we'll do a webinar then. But if you're watching this video, do give it a go, and You can message me. I'm on Melanie at the Sacred Womb, or you can reach Nick at nicholaspepe.com, and it's nicholaspepe.com.
Yeah, Pepe.
Pepe.com.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And Nick
nicholaspepe.com.
replies to all his messages, so you can get in touch with him that way. Okay. Thank you so much, Nick. That was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. I love talking about this stuff, so I could be here for hours, but
you are the crystal man. And Nick also has a channel, I think, the crystal channel.
I think I changed it to Nicholas Pepe now, just so
fair enough.
yeah. But I do have a YouTube channel where I do talk about crystals, and I talk about a lot of crystal videos, but I also do talk about things that will actually help you improve your life. So
okay, well, I'll post that link below, everyone, and I'll see you next time, everyone, and I'll see you, Nick, very soon.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Melanie. To everybody out there, thank you for having me.
See you, Nick. Bye.
Okay. Bye.